Hello and welcome back to Boxing Social in association with Betfred. My name is Ayman Khan. We're here in London for the aftermath of Lawrence Okolie versus Okolie-Cieslak. Shane, first of all, give me your assessment of the performance.
I thought it was a bit scrappy at times. Do you know what I mean? It could have been a bit more clinical. Lawrence hurt him early and kept trying to take him out. He got him again in the fifth, and he let it get scrappy. So there's things to work on, but there's lots of positives to take as well. He's just gone 12 rounds with a guy that's arguably could have beat McCarb. It was a very close fight, those two. So he's only got one blemish on his record, and Lawrence won it wide. But it wasn't the Lawrence Okolie that we want to see. We want to see the guy that's been maintaining distance and just let says like sort of make it. Ayman says like made it a bit of a messy fight at times, but there's lots of positives that we can take from it.
In terms of the moments where you had him in the breaks between the rounds, what advice were you giving him to try and maybe mitigate that messiness?
Yeah, just telling him that it's suiting him to be at distance. It's suiting him to be at that length. It's not suiting. It's suiting Cieslak to be in close. He was hitting around the back of the head. He's quite physically strong in there. So Lawrence is at his best when he sets it up on a jab and when he steps off the lines. And look. Those are the messages that I'm sort of relaying to him, and he did it at times. He did it in court said like a couple of great 1-2s. Needed to throw a left hook to the body, needed to throw a left hook to the head a little bit more as well. Looked a bit right hand happy, but look, all things to take away. Just frustrating because I know he's better than that. But look, we'll go again.
Briedis was there tonight. Obviously, we just caught him at the press conference there. How likely do you think that is for a fight next? Maccabi potentially.
Yeah, look, we want a unification. Whether it's Briedis or Maccabi, it doesn't really matter. I mean, Egorov versus Gulamarian is going ahead, and also Briedis has to fight Jay Optea as well. So maybe Maccabi is the route that we go. But look, we want that Briedis fight as well. He's the number one in the division, and we want to get that. We want to get that mantle, that mantra before we move on to heavyweight. So that's the big fight that needs to be made.
If you don't, is it heavyweight?
If we don't, potentially heavyweight. Yeah, I mean, look, we're going to get unification before we move up anyway. So let's see who steps up. Let's see if Eddie can put a great deal on the table for both sides, make sure everyone gets paid properly. Which I'm sure he has the power to do, and him and Wasserman and him and Sowlands have worked in the past, so it's definitely a fight that can be made.
You're no stranger to playing double duty, triple duty on fight nights. Anthony Fowler as well in there tonight. How do you assess his performance?
A little bit messy, like a little bit lax early on. Got caught a couple of shots. Right hands over top, but let's be honest. He's coming off a loss. He's coming off a knockout loss as well. So you're gonna have not doubts, but you're gonna have reservations and whether he was trying to fight a little bit too much at times, but he had the energy to go up the gears, and once he got into his rhythm, he was good. It's just sometimes he was starting his attacks from too far out, and a little bit clumsy at times. But look, I think you're going to see the best Ant whenever he's got guys that are really coming to win, and that guy sort of moving away and then shooting in on the attack. But middleweight is definitely the weight for him. It really is. He's completely different person this week. Energy as well, as you can see after a few rounds when he was at light middleweight, he was just couldn't pick his legs up. He was getting really flat. So it was nice to see him pick the pace up as the rounds went on and gradually improve. So. You can't just discredit the fact that he's coming off a knockout loss, and he has to be. We have to make sure that that we see that as a big positive. He's got back on the winning streak, and we'll go from here.
Taylor-Catterall last night, Shane. Can I get your reaction to that as well?
Yeah, I thought Catterall won. Yeah.
How do you assess his performance? Taylor, that.
Didn't think he's the same Josh Taylor that was in my gym. Disappointed. I've done a lot of hard work over the years. Done 5 years of fantastic work, and honestly, it frustrates me to see him boxing like that. But and I know it's not even the weight. I know it's just simply the fact that he's trying to change his style. And he said something in that interview with Sky Sports that he looks back at the Region of Progress fight and thought he could have done certain things better, and actually, right now, he should be looking back at that fight and thinking, those are the things that you thought you could have done better, and it actually makes you more vulnerable because you're getting out jabbed. He's a high-paced pressure fighter that's fantastic on the inside. His hands were down by his chest. He was walking at punches and getting his head jabbed off. He needs to be better than that.
Final two questions on this. Up to 147 for Taylor?
No, he's going to lose his attributes going up to 147. He needs to stay at 140.
And then just a word on Jack Catterall. I mean, obviously the talk's been about Taylor, but Catterall's performance was incredible.
Yeah, I didn't even think he was that good. I'm not doing it to be disrespectful to Jack. He was great on the jab. He did some things great. He was great at slowing the pace down. But it wasn't like it was a George Kambosos fight against Lopez where he really shone. It was a fight where he just did the basics well, diffused them on the inside, and Taylor got switched off on the jab. Josh, he has a habit of looking for perfect shots, and you can't be a perfectionist when you're working with Josh Taylor. You need to think about what he does well. He punches great in combinations. He closes the gap well. He's got great hand defences, and he's a great attacking fighter. Don't take that away from him.
Shane, thank you so much for giving me so much of your time so late as well. Thank you so much for the Boxing Social. Much appreciated.